happiest people that I know. You know, those who are not only happy, but truly peaceful. Those are men and women who have accepted their past. They're not stuck in their past. They're not using words like would've and could've and should've. Those are key words that lock us into this thing I call low consciousness. It's not a happy place to be. It's not a peaceful place to be. Those words indicate regret, often backed with remorse and resentment. Not a good place to be. The happiest people that I know, they look back from a place of curiosity and learning, acceptance, and if they're far enough along on their spiritual path, even gratitude. The happiest, most peaceful people that I know, they have some of the most tragic and horrendous past. But somehow they managed to break through. It's like it almost drove them crazy, and so they had no choice. They had to break through to survive, and they did. And these same people have some of the best messages, the best stories. They're the most approachable. They're the most real, authentic, caring, and loving. Because they've been in the pain. And that pain allowed them to drop judgment for others, to be replaced with compassion. It's the beauty of pain. The happiest people that I know, they look back. They don't spend too much time there to get stuck. They're not at all stuck. They're liberated. They're free. The opposite of stuck. The happiest people I know, honestly, they spend more time in the present moment than anywhere else. They'll look forward with hope, with gratitude, perhaps even using a vision board to manifest, which includes a lot of good action, by the way. It's not without action. Maybe even some planning, but then they come back to the present moment. They'll look back to reflect, to learn, to smile, to not forget. They perhaps even use a journal so that they have the grandeur, the detail of exactly where they were and how God was working in their lives, or how life was working. And they'll come back to present moment with a whole lot of clarity. Not only acceptance, but usually gratitude and joy. Brothers, friends, sisters, if you're stuck in the past, I would invite you to really look at that. One of the things we did in the Thumos community this week is I had these men on the Zoom call close their eyes, go to some deep breath, find their center through breath work. And then I just guided them through sort of an exercise to look at their past. And I did it from a time standpoint. So in other words, I had them get to center, close eyes, and go, what are you holding on to from your past this past week? Gave them some time to soak on that. I didn't want them to overthink it. I don't want them in their head. I want them in their body. It's not a wrestle. It's not a struggle. What comes up, if anything? What are you holding on? From there I went the past year. What are you holding on to from the past year? From there I went to the past 5 years, and then decade, and then all the way back to childhood. What are you holding on to? Because this is holding you back. And oftentimes that stuckness, it's filled with remorse and regret, the wouldas, the couldas, the shouldas. It's anything but freedom. And so what I ask these folks to do, and what I would ask of you, is to go back and reflect back and go, what's holding you back? Now, if you go all the way back to childhood, that's deep work. For that, I would invite journal, bring it to God. But what I really like is bringing that to somebody that's experienced and helping you in a situation like that. Reach out to me if you want to go back there. We do a lot of this on the Thumos weekends, because when we take someone all the way back to the childhood, we can actually oftentimes go back to that deepest wound, that core wound, and the path is to it and through it. That's when they break through. Then it's liberating. Then it's true freedom. They let it go and they see it for what it is. It's a beautiful thing. But beyond the deepest of the core wound, when someone's a child, most of us have something somewhere between last week, last decade in childhood, that we need to let go of because it's not serving us. A lot of us have been through some bad stuff. Divorce, failed relationships, loved ones, especially relationships who have left us, our relationship with money, bankruptcy, finances, loss of house, loss of homes, health and physical problems. Like, all of those are really messy and can really set us back. But you know what those all do, what they all have in common? Is they were essential in some form or fashion for our growth. And they qualify us, they uniquely qualify you and I to hold space, help, and serve and love others once we're on the other side of it. If I'm still bankrupt, I'm probably not going to preach to you about how to get through bankruptcy. But if I've gone from bankruptcy, and I haven't, but I've been in the hole financially, to financially abundant, I'm credible. And so are you. And so maybe that's your story around divorce or failure or recognition as a fighter or a cheerleader or a football player, a baseball player. It's hard when that lifestyle, that dream, that recognition, the achievement, the glory is gone. That's a dark and lonely place. That achievement, that recognition, it's a drug for a lot of us. The antidote, the cure, is to put it in awareness and raise consciousness. Then we don't have to fight it, it just falls off. That works for a lot of addiction, by the way. Easier said than done, but it does work. So brothers, sisters, friends, what I would ask you to do is spend some time in reflection, look back. Ask yourself, what do you need to let go of? What's not serving you? What's holding you back? There's people who have come into your life. But people come into lives, I believe, for reasons, seasons, and lifetime. Those reasons and seasons, they're really good teachers. So a lot of us are holding on to things, perhaps, that we just need to let go of, especially relationships. I'm not only asking you to forgive those who wronged you, I'm asking you to forgive, especially when they don't deserve forgiveness. For those who were disloyal, who cheated, who betrayed, who lied, who whatever it is. We can be right, and we can hold on to that forever, and it's almost like we're going to show them as we continue to drink this poison. Or we can be free. We can accept. We can even have gratitude for what happened. That's a very hard place to get to, but it's the most liberating, most freedom, most peaceful place that we can be. Because see, it's easy to be kind to those who are kind, but the real test is to be kind to those who are unkind. But when we can get there, we have true peace. We have true kindness within us. If I'm love, how can I be anything but loving? Because it's who I am. And the truth is, that's who we all are. We've just stacked up all this shit on top of it. So a lot of the spiritual journey, the work that we're doing, at least in Thumos, is we're unpacking and undoing a lot of the junk and the stuff and the shit that we've accumulated to get back to true self and pure self, and it's a beautiful thing. So friends, I would leave you with, spend some time on reflection. Get to where you can put it in awareness what happened to you. That mess that you've been through uniquely qualifies you, and only you, the way that you went through it, to help serve, love, and support someone who's going through that. Your mess becomes your message, and oftentimes that becomes people's mission in life, their calling. I can tell you that the messier the mess, oftentimes the better the mission, the better the message, and the more powerful the mission. I can tell you the most messiest of people, their past, those end up being the people that I follow. Because it's almost like they experience so much strife and struggle and turmoil and depression and anxiety. It was going to kill them. So they broke through. And when they broke through, or when they break through, they have a depth that can't be explained. When a buddy of mine lost his son, through all that pain, on the other side was this beauty. There's a depth that I can't put into words. Approachable is not a strong enough word. Compassionate and loving, like nothing else. That can be the beauty of deep pain and learning. So what I ask of you, all of us, is to go back, get clear on that mess, don't live there. Understand, accept it, use it, bottle it up into a nice story, and use it to go help others. I want men and women to look forward, not too much, because one can get into anxiety, but just enough to have hope, have gratitude, to sort of manifest with a whole lot of action, by the way. It's how manifestation works. And a little bit of planning and preparation. Look back, the topic of this video, to put into awareness and full acceptance and even gratitude when one can get there on what happened and how it made you who you are, made you stronger, it helped you grow in your journey. But then spend most of the time right here in the now. Life is nothing but a series of moments. Let's live in the now. Take care.